Okay, guys, so today I'm going to be covering threads, bots. This is a workshop about threads, bots. Last time where we took off, I quickly showed you a couple of tools that you could use to automate threads and just makes it very simple for you to engage. So the question is, how do you engage automatically? So I'm going to quickly show to you this tool over here. This is the tool that solves the problem of engagement, and it's called proxy.convergence.ai. So what I did is I literally told it to um, find on my threads, Freedom Fusion at freedomfusionsystem.com account, find this account and see which threads talk about Feudal Kingdom Academy, create a spreadsheet in Google Sheets with the thread's URL and description and any hashtags relevant to that thread, and see which product it relates to: thread stack, threads booster, threads themes, threads slacker. Document username as well as who made any comments to any of the threads, and follow them and like their threads. Do this in separate actions. And as you can see, it finished. It did this on the background. I didn't really have to do much. It just went ahead and completed 37 steps. And as you can see, it literally said, look, I'm going to click search on threads. I'm going to search for the Feudal Kingdom Academy. I'll enter Feudal Kingdom Academy in the search field. I'll extract the relevant threads information. Uh, I'll go back to the search. I'll extract it again, and the end of it all, it just documented all of this over here. I have successfully completed the requested tasks. Threads mentioning Feudal Kingdom Academy. I identified relevant threads from the Freedom Fusion system account on threads and extracted necessary details. I created a Google Sheets document titled Feudal Kingdom Academy threads and populated with the following FQDNs, uh, the URLs. Uh, Feudal Kingdom Academy is a custom coaching program for small business owners seeking to convert $1 into three. Remember, to grow your feudal kingdom the right way, you need a powerful mentor. So it extracted all of this data. It extracted the hashtags as well, and it extracted the product relationship uh, to which product this whole thread relates to, which is cool because uh, and not only did it do that, it also followed the user Henry Ford Online, who interacted with the relevant threads, liked posts from him, and to complete the interaction. So that's very good, guys. This is actually, and here's the spreadsheet that it created. Needless to say, it's one of those spreadsheets that looks a bit, the formatting looks a bit off, but it does have data. It does have the relationship data. It has the description. It has URL. It has hashtags. It has, uh, the everything kind of in a knowledge base. So, which is good because now you could grab that data over here. You could literally take that, copy that, and give that to your virtual assistant, and click ask screenshot over here and create a Chrome-based bot. And you could give it a name. You could give it like a, you could paste that over here this way, and now you could say something like, you could give it a cat's name, for example, Gucci, right? So I went ahead, I kind of included that, and I could say, if you see anything related to Feudal Kingdom Academy, if you see any, uh, respond to the comment, uh, and analyze in a way where it recommends any of the following links, include the link in response, targeting existing business owner moms. Respond with a joke and make sure it invite the user in a friendly way to Feudal Kingdom Academy based on the context below. Include relevant relevant hashtags, and the product name that suits best, and recommend the product that suits best. For example, threads booster, threads themes, threads slacker, threads samurai, etc. Threads stories, and threads bots. So this is, I quickly did this, and now if we do this, if you go to threads and we find somebody, if you go to literally open up threads, we go here and we could kind of see, here's threads, well, here's all the products, here's people kind of responding. So what I could do, I could find somebody and see like this, right? So what I do is I right click and click Ask GPT, and I click, so where's a Gucci page? I don't really see it. So let me go ahead and modify this and see. Yeah, so I do see it here. I just don't see uh, screenshot region. No, selection. So we want to choose selection. Yes. So we want to choose selection. Go back here and let's click Ask GPT. Boom. I just click on here and immediately it went ahead and automatically came back with a response, which is cool because guess what? Uh, Look how it responded. So first of all, what was the question? What did it respond to? Right. So I'm gonna copy this, right? And I'm gonna make sure that it's within the limit. So essentially, what's happening, guys? As you can see, it says, "Do you actively engage with your followers?" Reels genuinely curious how everyone doing it. So I'm gonna go ahead and respond, and as you can see, this is a very huge response that's within the above the limit, right? So I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna respond properly within the limit. So go to Gucci and you see how people are having this problem, engagement problem. Be sure. So I'm gonna say, be sure to respond within limit. Okay. So within threads limit. Okay. So I'm gonna go back again over here and show to you. I'm gonna cancel that. And once again, boom, like this. Just gonna paste that, as GPT, Gucci, and let's see if it's gonna make it shorter, right? So as you can see, it made it shorter. It's really easy, right? Uh, have a great question. If you're not engaging, your followers might think you ghosted them, but seriously, both stories and reels are gold when you have the right strategy. The business owner mom's looking a level above. Check out Threads Booster. It's the coaching you need to turn $1 into three. Ready to grow your feudal kingdom? Let's make it happen. So, uh, and it looks like it recommended multiple URLs. Let's go ahead and say only recommend one URL. So we're gonna quickly go and update the prompt and say, hey, only recommend one URL. Only recommend one URL. One URL. And let's see. We're going back again, and we gonna do this like this, and boom. So once again, I'm just right. You only have to do this once, guys. You don't have to do that multiple times. You only do it once. Once you adjust it, you just reuse it. You give it to your virtual assistants, and they do the rest. As you can see, easy, right? Easy, very easy. Now look, it says, haha, you're engaging your followers might think you're gone for business or not. For business, you want to engage into real profit. Check out Threads Booster. Uh, the coaching problem. Let's boost your business and make it kingdom grow. Coaching Threads Booster business model growth. Right. So this is a very interesting way to kind of do this, but it didn't really update the actual kind of you didn't really do the URL, right? So as you can see, we need to correct that. So we need to make sure that the URL needs to be clean. So update the prompt a little bit more, right? So we're gonna update the prompt a little bit more. Be sure that the URL is isn't is clean without extra characters or parentheses, because this URL needs to be previewed in threads. So as you can see, I'm modifying this again, and let's give it a shot again. So we go in here quickly and we are verifying it again. So I'm gonna cancel that out. So this is, guys, very good prompting. If you don't know this prompting, you could spend colossal amount of time wasting a lot of time engaging with people who don't really care about your content, and you just like literally get frustrated and quit the whole thing. So if you guys don't want to quit and you want to like earn extra income, do this. This is like really stupid simple. You could do, anybody could do this, but you just kind of have to make sure that you modify the prompt. So over here it says star star, right? So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna go back to Ask GPT, and we're gonna modify that again. I'm gonna explain what the clean prompt, the clean URL example of clean URL with, okay, without any stars or any other characters that would cause it not to be previewed in threads. Okay, so we're going back again and we are canceling that again, and let's take a look again. Initially you have to adjust it a couple of times, and then everything is going to be smooth. So let's see. Okay, let's try that. It included a dot. It keeps adding. It keeps adding the thing. Let's see. It's not good. Let me try it again. Try it again. Copy. I wonder if it prevents the whole thing. If it prevents those stars from automatic paste. So we're gonna quickly. Okay, ask GPT. There we go. So when you copy it this way, it works. Um, so gonna go ahead and respond. And that is an example of doing this. It didn't take long, guys. And I know this is something not intuitive, but the idea is you got to use multiple AI agents to grow super fast. And there's another automation tool that I wanted to show you. And I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at my other workshops. If you didn't, go to my bio link, bio.link/Feudal Fusion System, and then go to my YouTube. You click on the YouTube channel and then just literally go through, watch those videos over here, previous workshops, uh, pretty much all of those videos over here that I'm showing you. This is a prerequisite for everything that you're seeing now. Um, so, like, what exactly are we trying to do now? Well, what we're trying to do now, we doing many different things. We're doing automation and extracting data. And you're going to understand why in other workshops, why we're doing this. But it takes colossal amount of time to constantly engage. And as you see, there's even people asking like questions, how to engage with your followers, how do you do this? And what is the best way to do that? Because it takes colossal amount of time and people don't really care about your content. They just kind of um, hum along doing their own thing and not really responding to anything. So how do you solve that problem? Well, the first thing what you got to do, guys, is obviously got to have a fire presentation. And I already showed you how to create insane looking presentation using tools like StoryDoc. As you can see, there's different types of elements in place. And this is, and you could get access, you could take a look at this a little bit more details if you go to bio.link and click on 30 like 30 days trial. Let me go ahead and show it to you. But ideally, what you guys want to be doing, you want to be creating a fire looking sales pages. Then after you create those sales pages, you want to be doing, you want to be creating your own knowledge base. So right now I'm in Discord. I'm not gonna switch over here. Let me just close that out. It could be taking a little bit of load, but I'm gonna go ahead and close those documents over here and keep something in mind. When you go to 30 days after using Threads Booster from my bio, I think you're gonna see this page. So the first thing you guys want to do is read through this and see what I'm offering to see if this is actually of interest to you. So over here I have a coaching program called Feudal Incubator. This is specifically for uh, side hustling moms who are starting out with digital faceless marketing. This is not for the existing business owners, which is Feudal Kingdom Academy. So, but Feudal Kingdom Academy and Feudal Incubator are like brothers and sisters. They have a purpose, and that purpose is to serve. Feudal Kingdom Academy is all about serving the feudal lords, the existing business owners, and Feudal Incubator is all about helping digital faceless marketing moms who are starting out grow learn how to effectively become that feudal lord, become that brand owner. And of course, as you can see, you see all sorts of different elements taking place, all sorts of crazy effects. And of course, if you're a digital faceless marketer mom, you could get access to my product called Threads Booster and learn how to grow on Threads, how to build your digital product. And of course, you could also get access to Freedom Fusion System, which is sold separately or part of Feudal Incubator, depending on like depending on the price factor. And if you're interested in getting access to Freedom Fusion System, which is my CRM system that has all those different components to help you convert leads into loyal customers, then definitely click on this Let's Talk button. Uh, and then effectively what's going to happen is I probably need to fix this thing. So instead of Let's Talk, uh, basically click on, let me show you where to click on. So what you want to do, you want to click on this book a demo, book a meeting. And when you book a meeting, it will take you over here. And then you just scroll to the bottom and you just pick Ron Wells from here and specify your the time on my calendar. Book a call with me on your on the calendar and fill in all those details, like what you're interested in, whether you're interested in if you're interested in thread stack, or if you with thread stack includes all of those digital faceless marketing products like thread stories, Slack, themes, etc. Or if you're interested in um, any of the Feudal incubators, or if you're interested in Feudal Kingdom Academy, depending on who you are. So if you're starting out digital faces marketing, you specify which program you're interested in. If you're interested in Freedom Fusion Digital, this is where you learn how to do digital faces marketing across multiple platforms, and you'll gain the hybrid skills that are not taught in college. You just select this, you specify all the other info, specify what's your current monthly revenue. Don't worry about this too much if you're starting out, but if you're the business owner who actually wants AI content-driven automations done for you, specifically for your company, then definitely specify like all those other details for what your current monthly revenue, and specify whether you indeed you're interested in something like Feudal Kingdom Academy. Now, Feudal Kingdom Academy is something that I wanted to show to you real quick what Feudal Kingdom Academy is, and here is the Feudal Kingdom Academy. This is the link for this. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly update the link and show you how I'm updating this using BioLink. So, but over here, what you see is an example of what the Feudal Kingdom Academy. So basically what we do is we help business owners accelerate their brand. You could join our bi-monthly workshops that are free. You could learn, interact, ask questions, and of course get access to supportive community, Freedom Fusion Land community. So this community is in Discord. Let's go ahead and show it to you. So this is the community in Discord, and you'll get invited to this community uh, if you join this workshop, and you get access to this community. We have free channels inside of that community, and we have paid premium channels. Uh, and the way it works is the way this whole community is designed to help existing business owners who have their own brand get connected with side hustling moms who have hybrid skills that are not taught in college. And of course, in the process of that, you could submit all sorts of um, work requests, specifically for digital moms. So if you're interested in connecting with them, and let's say you don't have time to actually develop any of those hybrid skills, you just don't have any time, but you want to take advantage of side hustlers who went through the Freedom Fusion path, who joined Freedom Fusion path and joined the community, learned hybrid skills, and who can serve you, help you grow your feudal kingdom. So the idea here is I have two different communities, one for Freedom Fusion path, one is Freedom Fusion Land. Freedom Fusion Land is for any feudal lord, the business owner. So if you happen to have like a plumber shop, or if you have some product or a program or a coaching program or whatever that is that you have, and whatever the business that you have, you can join the Freedom Fusion Land community and effectively get connected with side hustlers who you can ask to do certain work, such as helping you grow your feudal kingdom, helping you advertise your services, helping you make more money. And those types of side hustlers, they're not like freelancers or anything like that. They are actual trained professionals who went through the entire feudal incubator and know how to help you. So, of course, the best way I could describe to you Freedom Fusion Land is you are somebody who is a business owner who doesn't have much time. You want to see ways for how you could save time. You want to see a way for how to use all those AI tools to help you develop efficiencies, but you just don't necessarily want to know the depths, like super deep skills that you just don't have time for because you're running your business. You really want somebody else to do it, but you want somebody else to do it who's knowledgeable in hybrid skills that are not taught in college, in AI, automation, psychology, all of those skills. So this way you could convert $1 into three. To make that a reality, what I do is, as part of my Feudal Kingdom Academy, I drop the pills of freedom. Those pills of freedom are being dropped automatically into uh, Discord. So the first thing what's gonna happen is you're gonna join Slack. Inside of Slack, like if you do decide to actually join Feudal Kingdom Academy, you get onboarded through Slack, and then eventually Slack is used for internal purposes, for onboarding and whatnot, and then you're gonna get access to Discord. In Discord, what happens is the pills of freedom are constantly getting dropped. Here's an example of
God, don't give up on me yet.
So this is an example of the pill of freedom, what I just holding in my hand. You could think of it as the pill of freedom that literally administered by feudal
Don't
bots
give up on me.
and supervised by feudal knights. So I have this concept in my community called feudal hustlers and feudal knights. So feudal hustlers are trainers who train you, who specifically deliver those workshops. One of those workshops that I'm referring to is the one that you could join for free. And the feudal hustlers have those incredible hybrid skills where they could show you all those different details that you see on these workshops. They're specialized professionals. They're also somebody who understand AI or automations or digital faceless marketing. And of course, you as a feudal lord, you would benefit from those pills of freedom that are constantly being dropped. And also, you would benefit from um, all of those workshops that are specifically available to you, and you could ask questions and you could get connected with side hustlers. Now, all you got to do for side hustlers, if you wanted to get connected with them to help you grow your feudal land uh, and your feudal kingdom, then I do have special channels in Discord where I'm going to go ahead and describe in more details those channels in the next kind of meeting. The best thing I could provide to you guys is uh, just explanation about all those tools. And as I'm going to be dropping those tools and explain creating those workshops, you're going to be seeing things getting dropped into those different channels. So Freedom Fusion Land is really your first stop. So then Freedom Fusion Boost is basically this is I have a free guide for you guys. I'm gonna drop a free guide for you as well that can help you learn how to convert that $1 into three, and you could you could get access to this guide on the community. And of course, I have all of those other workshops over here. So we have blue pill, we have red pill. This is a different types of pills that are specifically relevant for the feudal lords. So, um, for example, if you wanted to learn something relevant to content, how to create content, how to generate it, all you got to do is basically jump into those channels. So what is happening in content? This is where content review is going on. So if you're building a brand and you need somebody to review that content to see if it's good or not good, then all you got to do is you drop it in a content review channel. So for content request is if you wanted to have any kind of if you wanted to submit a content request where you wanted um, basically for us to create a content for you for your brand, whether it's for your plumber shop or digital marketing agency, a dropshipping company, or whatever the company you happen to have, you simply submit the request in content request section, and we will take a look at that as well. And of course, Freedom Fusion Pitch is specifically designed for if you need help from one of the side hustlers who can help you sell your products, then Freedom Fusion Pitch is explicitly designed just for that. Then we have Freedom Fusion Digital, that is pretty much the digital faceless marketing channel. So if you need somebody who have very good digital marketing skills, then you could most certainly um, jump into those things over here. You could learn more about the services. You could see details of what we do. But the idea here, what I'm going to do next, guys, is I'm going to kind of make it super easy for you to understand what the next step's going to be. So the next steps for you is really to join Feudal Kingdom Academy. This is the page over here that describes everything about Feudal Kingdom Academy. And the cool part about it, you get to see from this page all sorts of kind of like I'm gonna actually refresh it because it has been updated. You get to see how beautiful this page is. It's a different page. It's not that I didn't use StoryDoc for that to create it. I use different page. And the idea behind Feudal Kingdom Academy is that you get access to different types of products. So like threads bots, thread stories, threads booster, etc. And as you get access to those products, to those workshops, you'll learn about each of those products and what they do. And when you learn about them, you develop new ways of increasing efficiencies. And you could see my threads bots workshop over here. You could take a look. You could see an example of this video. You could go beyond threads bots and get threads booster, and you'll learn more about it here. Get familiar with this page, guys. But the one thing I want you to extract out of it is the fact that if you wanted to make money online with anything, like your business or physical business or digital business, you need to have fire looking content, and you need to have not only fire looking content, you need to have fire looking threads. If you don't have that, there's no chance anybody's going to be engaging with you and no chance of you making any sales, guys. So this is, I'm just scrolling through and showing you how fire looking content this content is, with all sorts of templates from Lemon. I use Lemon templates to generate this on the left hand side. This quite looks absolutely insane, and you could sign up for a free workshop. So what you do, you click sign up for a free workshop, you scroll to the bottom, you fill out the form, and you're good to go. This way I know you are interested either in learning more about uh, threads bots, or you're learning or any other products, or if you're interested in Freedom Fusion System, or if you're interested in Feudal Kingdom Academy. This is the place. If you happen to be an existing business owner, this is where you register. Any other additional questions you could ask a bot, and basically ask specific questions, and it will answer it for you. And I'll show you, of course, obviously, how to configure all the stuff. And I'm literally going to show it to you how I'm doing this in real time. I'm updating this information and how you could do the same exact thing. But um, so, and of course, um, let me now show you other things. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at see how many likes we got. So do we have any likes? I've seen some new likes over here. The most important part, guys, when you're building your feudal kingdom, what you need to understand is that you got to organize all of your channels. So for all of your products in separate feeds. So you can, so immediately when you open up a feed, you have all of them this way. So the idea behind it is you want to give this to your virtual assistants. You want to have them set up similar feeds, so this way they see all of your products and can interface quickly with any kind of person who is asking questions by using those extensions, using those bots that I pointed out to you. So the question is, what would be the other way for you to do that, and where does the Zapier come into play, and how do you do this actually automatically? How do you scan for content automatically? Well, before you scan for content automatically, you kind of have to understand what is it that you're trying to do. Well, you've seen how some people suffer with kind of engagement. They're asking questions like, "How to engage? How to engage with your followers? I'm really tired. It just things don't are not working out for me." Well, I showed you right now this thing over here. You proxy. Now, how realistic is this proxy thing? Well, I think it's fair. It's pretty cool. I mean, for what it does, and there's obviously like a paid version for that that gives you more things, and it gives you more kind of different ways to do like more work. But the idea here is you could schedule those tasks automatically. So for example, right now what I did is I said, you know what, I have successfully completed the request, identified relevant threads, uh, and kind of did this stuff for you and engaged with people and followed people and hit like, right? But the question is, did I invite anybody from this request to join my workshop? This very same workshop that I have showed it to you over here, did I invite anybody in this request? No, I did not. But do you think I could have invited people to my workshop as part of this prompt and say, instead of saying, just go ahead and hit like and comment, tell people, by the way, also invite, based on the relevant comment, uh, to whatever is relevant to my products, and craft a little personalized response with a link from this URL and from this Google Sheet that I showed you, and literally come back to the person, hit like and follow. how effective would that be in terms of getting people into a workshop? Well, it depends how effective. It depends on a couple of factors. One is, what is the likelihood of you actually getting banned by using tools like this? Because guess what? It's not exactly meta can kind of be frowned upon uh, when it sees anything automatic. So you want to be careful when you're doing that. Uh, if you're going to do it, try to uh, limit your usage to specific use cases, try to randomize requests, and better what, start utilizing tools that will minimize your chances of getting dinged using techniques that I showed in a previous workshops where I literally showed an extension called browser flow. You open that up. Um, I think it was what was it? Alt F4, Alt F4, some no, it wasn't Alt F4. It wasn't Alt F4, but there's another extension that called browser flow. And with that extension, you could literally do all sorts of magic. And um, in this particular case, I don't really see it. I'm gonna open up Chrome. I'm gonna go here, and here's a browser flow. This is an extension. Obviously, what this extension does, it collects all of this information. And you've seen an example of how I'm using this automation in the previous workshop, but what it does, it scrapes information quickly from threads, and it includes the number of likes, follows, comments, etc., and makes it possible for you to um, see what this is, and then later on it categorizes everything into what kind of person this is, what is the likelihood for them to purchase one product or another product or another product, and provide recommendation for you in a visual sense. And of course, I already showed you guys examples for that. And in fact, not only did I show those examples for that, I went ahead and I published them using Copilot. Here's an example of, uh, well, I use it to publish it using Claude. But over here, as you can see, I'm literally saying, after scraping that data very quickly, and of course, you got to see how quickly, because you have to look at that previous workshop. But the idea is, I got the CSV file that I extracted out of the using this extension. It's a free extension, browser flow, and I literally said, look, analyze this file and extract and make it into a mind map from my market based on the person, based on personality. So what I meant by my market, I really meant mermaid. But anyway, it figured out what I meant. The idea here is I said, look, take all of those things that I showed, right, which is pretty much all of those users over here, take all of them, including the usernames, and it was really, really easy for me to get them. And why? How do I know? Why was it easy for me to get them without me waiting for an entire hour scraping things using other tools? By the way, other tools like proxy, whatever the proxy that I showed you, it's a fire-looking tool. You could use it for some cases, but uh, you always have to be careful with making sure that you don't get banned, right? So how do you mitigate that? Well, you use this tool over here, browser flow, in combination with Claude, where you paste the CSV and you do an analysis. You tell it, look, um, tell me like, so for example, I'll analyze the CSV file and create a mind map based on content. So over here, you could see a bunch of users. It categorized what kind of digital moms those users are. Looks like there's 2 digital moms that are spiritual. Some of them are tech frustrated. Some of them are community builders. Some of them are just digital moms, right? So the idea here is 2 users show strong indication of being digital moms. Here's one of them. Content focused on community and support, uses emojis abundantly, mentions cheering and hyping up strangers. Very likely to be digital mom based on username and supported content. And the bottom line is, you could see this analysis being done for each of those folks. And what I do next, I literally say, hey, which product do you think each of those people would be interested most? I have Thread Stack Power Bundle that helps digital moms build their own digital product bundle and grow on threads. It has thread stories, focus on creating thread stories. It has thread slacker. So the bottom line is, I'm literally saying, look, I have all of those different products uh, and coaching programs, including Feudal Kingdom Academy. Go ahead and categorize each of those users who would be interested in each product and create customized pitch thread. that is within the limit of Threads platform. And what it does, it literally says, okay, based on user profiles that I analyzed, I'll categorize which products would be best, match each user's needs, and create customized pitch threads. So look, it created customized threads. And what else did it do? Well, it did something else. It literally told me who the user is. So I went ahead and I responded back to the user, and I pitched to them with those requests. Now, how do you do it on a scale? How do you do it with your virtual assistants? With your virtual assistants, take a look. I have other workshops that literally shows you how to use a bunch of other extensions to quickly create like a little task for your virtual assistants, and the request would get dropped into Slack, and you use an extension to quickly highlight like the part of the process, the part of the screenshot, and send it over to your virtual assistant, and telling them, hey, this is what it is. And you could like literally you could hit share and private only. So when you hit share, you share it with your virtual assistants. Now, you can extend that further and automate it using Zapier and have it literally drop for your virtual assistant to go ahead and respond to your with this information manually to the digital mom. And effectively, by doing that, you will minimize the chances of getting banned by Meta. Now, this is pretty cool, this level of personalization. Why is it so cool? Well, because now the ball is in your court. You already know how to create incredible content. You already know how to create beautiful presentations. You already know how to use browser use because you've seen the previous workshops. You already know how to combine different types of um, mind maps together and include them into this presentation, into the one that I showed you with the gamma. So by the way, what, uh, I'm using gamma to show all of this information in here. And this is the cloud session that shows different types of threads. So what I did next after creating a presentation, right? What I did, I said, okay, look, and I'm going to walk you through the process. What I did, I said, can you generate a mind map based on this data? This was my threads bots. So what I did is I created a workshop, the workshop that I created with you guys, the previous workshop on YouTube. Uh, I got the transcript from that workshop and I pasted that transcript directly into Claude. Where did I get that transcript? I got it from Slack. What transcript? What am I talking about? I'm talking about the transcript that literally this transcript for that when I was creating a Zoom video with you guys, creating a workshop that ended up being on YouTube. Which YouTube workshop was it? This one over here. So this one over here, and you could go on YouTube, you could watch this workshop. So what happened afterwards, and by the way, on the back end, I have a bunch of Zapier automations that are kicking in, that are creating those summaries automatically. And this is why you're able to see it in Slack. But the idea here is, and of course I have a workshop as well for how you could set that up. You definitely just have to watch them. But the idea is very simple. After this Slack automation got kicked in, uh, and after I managed to get the transcript, I went ahead and I pasted it into Claude. And after I pasted it in Claude, I literally said, create content for threads to invite people to my free workshops and also join Feudal Kingdom Academy. Include what we covered in workshops below for digital moms. And and over here it said, okay, I'll create a mind map based on your threads bot workshop and develop content to invite people to your free workshop and Feudal Kingdom Academy. So what am I saying here, guys? What I'm saying here is the first thing I did is I scraped content from my feeds that are relevant for each of the products. You're going to learn how to create your own products using Threads Booster. And now what I did is I created hyper-personalized invitation for each of the members based on analysis that was conducted. How do you streamline all of this, what I just said, without you really kind of thinking too much? So without you really having to worry about all of those steps, like creating content, creating workshop YouTube video or Zoom video, creating all those summaries, then feeding that into Claude, and then coming up with this thing where you have all of those little pictures. And how do you do it in a way where you are creating all those threads and making it available for your virtual assistants to respond to those people? Or how do you make it in a way where you get your bot, like proxy bot, to go ahead and respond to those people? Well, we could go ahead and try to do it now. And what you see over here, you could kind of see each individual. They For every part of the workshop, Claude went ahead and literally ex showed the mind map for what I was trying to explain in that previous workshop. And by the way, watch that workshop, guys. You're going to get a lot of value, insane amount of value. So, but the idea here is not. So, what we have here, we have threads, data collection, automation. We have lead generation, data organization, all of this, and it's all relevant to Feudal Kingdom Academy. So the entire workshop, the Threads Bots workshop, was explicitly designed for the feudal lords, and it showed all those different things, guys. It showed all of those different pieces of content, and this would be impossible for me to go ahead and try to remember all of this and try to explain but with this type of explanation, it becomes super easy. Now check this out. What I did is I said make sure that workshop date uh, is not shown. I'm kind of providing more details about when the workshop is going to take place, and effectively uh, kind of including this information. Now notice what I did over here is, so notice at the prompt, can you generate mind map based on this data? This was my Threads Bots workshop that digital faceless marketing business owners can learn from. Create content for threads.net to invite people to my free workshops and also join Feudal Kingdom Academy. Include what we covered in the workshop below for digital moms. So this is like, why? The question is, how effective is this really, right? How effective is this really? Well, it's a post. It's not really you. It's not like you're responding to somebody. It's not like you're responding in a personalized way from that scraped data that I showed earlier. So can it get leads? Sure, it could get leads, but it would be it would not be as effective as when you're actually engaging on the comment, but it would be still a good way for you to inject this information into threads and have it all scheduled. So this way, this way just people go ahead and join your workshop. So once people join your workshop, you get to generate more income from some of those people who would be interested in premium workshops. Now, premium workshops are explicitly designed for anybody who is part of the Feudal Kingdom Academy. Those are the workshops that are not necessarily live, that are not necessarily free. And how do I handle premium ones? Premium ones, when you post something on Zoom, what happens is you want to have certain control before you publish something, uh, or whether it's a free or premium, and you want to have this tagging mechanism. And what I'm going to expand a little bit further for how to do is how to get that tagging mechanism automatically for you. So what I mean by that is, like, when I decide what is free or what is not, or what is premium, I use Notion. In Notion, I specify inside of a Notion what kind of workshop that is. And depending on what kind of workshop that is, what I choose, it go ahead and it uploads YouTube video, for example, as public, for example, if it's free. If it's not free, it doesn't upload it into YouTube as public, and it keeps it as unlisted. So all of those different things that you to make the decisions for what is free or what is premium, all of this needs to have another way, another automation. But if you separate those things together and make it automatic using Notion, it's just going to be exponentially easier for you to control all this content across multiple channels, whether it's in Discord or Slack or combination of both. But this thing that you guys got to understand is the fact that what I just literally showed you is the flow. This flow of information where I first do the research, where after I do the research, I do some other activities, such as creating personalized requests and constructing a bunch of threads. That's all good and great. But how do you combine this together with uh, the actual invitation the to your workshop? Well, I'm going to show it to you. The first thing which you want to do after what I did, guys, after I created the YouTube video, after I created this video over here, uh, after I created uh, the workshop, right? What I did is I used this tool over here that automatically grabs all this content over here and from this page, and I created an avatar, and I used this avatar to create product review. And to see what I mean by that is you could go here um, and see an example of a product review taking place. So still spending money on paid ads, try Freedom Fusion system instead. So introducing Feudal Kingdom. So what you see over here is something really crazy happening. You see all of those videos, like, so you see the scrolling screen, you see all those effects, you see things scrolling, and it just looks super beautiful, right? So how do I did that? How do I make that happen? So the question is, I made it happen, guys, by literally. So I made it happen by using basic things. In this particular case, I just scrolled through the page, uploaded it into CapCut, and then edit a bunch of effects in CapCut and edit a bunch of captions to do it. But as you can see, everything is included in this beautiful, beautiful presentation. And if I had to show you the flow, guys, if I have to show you the flow that can help you simplify that, well, then what you do, you have this other tool called Power Automate. And with Power Automate, you could take a screenshot. For example, you could go here. Power Automate is like desktop automation tool. It's free. And what you could do, and you don't, uh, the reason why why I like it is because you could really kind of, how should I say it? You could really like get to do all those different automations over here. You could send text to Notepad. You can run an application. You could copy files, and it just interacts with your Windows. It can do PDF automation, data time handling, text manipulation, scripting, Excel automations. It could do many different things. But what I liked it for I liked it really much for just taking a screenshot from a basic example for like a, let's say, screenshot. Screenshot. Actually, let me go ahead here. So you could quickly download this tool, guys. It's called Power Automate on your Windows. Then just go and do basic thing like taking screenshot of your page. So you could do something like this. You could hit play, and what it's gonna do is gonna actually take a screenshot of your website. So what I did is I put the gamma thing in here, and literally it went ahead and it just opened up this presentation, and it literally started scrolling automatically. I'm not scrolling, this thing is scrolling automatically. It's taking screenshot. I'm not doing anything at all, guys. I'm just literally opening this. It was part of this automation that already included in this Power Tools. So what the cool part about it is it just takes a quick screenshot, and then it makes it available to you as a file. You can take that file, you could upload it into uh, CapCut, and then literally just create a fire-looking video that just makes things super easy. Now, uh, if I go to kind of, it shows you over here that it did it. I already had it downloaded before. So I'm gonna kind of uh, go to my download folder, and here's a file, right? Boom. So let's see. So as you can see, it's a scrolling file, right? So this is really cool because guess what? Uh, and this is other extension that I showed you earlier that downloads all those files automatically. So the question is, how do you do all of this and how do you put all of this in action? How do you take everything that I just described and put this in the solution? Um, so a couple of things that needs to happen. Number one, you need to be able to take this video that I just showed you and send it to a Google Drive. So obviously over here, this is not Google Drive. This is something else. This is OneDrive that I have, right? So can we automate this real quick and make it into OneDrive? Uh, yeah, we could make it into OneDrive, but we need to ask ourselves, what exactly are we going to do with this? Typically, when I engineer something, guys, what I do is I open up Paint and I quickly kind of try to iterate through whatever it is that I'm trying to do that can simplify the process. So we talked about many different things. We talked about um, uh, CapCut. So we have CapCut, and this information needs to go into CapCut. Now, what is CapCut? Is obviously one of those tools, guys, that you definitely should be using to generate all sorts of content and to kind of give you an idea what kind of content and how that looks like. Here's an example of, if you go to my Freedom Fusion system, um, and by the way, this is just, I was testing hello all. This one over here, for this, I used caption. So I used an avatar to go ahead and to recreate a video from another person who um, who had a very good, very well converting ad. I mimicked his content, edited his URL, his Instagram URL into captions, and then it generated this avatar. I exported it and I placed it into CapCut, and I edit like this other avatar at the end of it. So to kind of have a double avatar, right? That was an example. And now of that, this was an example of the workflow for what I did. And here's an example of the Feudal Kingdom Academy scrolling video that first it was scrolling. How was it scrolling? It was scrolling uh, because it was part of this thing, right? So it was scrolling. So as soon as I uploaded this, so what I did is I uploaded this on YouTube. I mean, on Google Drive. And because you guys already know I have a Google Drive automation, it immediately went ahead and created a YouTube video, right? And keep some in mind, we still have to make the YouTube video work where we are getting transcripts with hashtags and descriptions and all that other stuff. But we'll get to it as we continue going through. But the idea is there's many different things that I just described. So what did I describe? I described gamma, right? So gamma, I described story doc, and I described something else, right? Story doc. And so what we have is, by the way, everything that I'm recording on Zoom, it takes space, and space takes money. Uh, so how do I solve that problem with not overloading my Zoom with too much content? Well, because I have Google Drive. Now, let's talk about what I just did now with downloading into a folder. Google Drive is not extendable to your operating system, your Windows operating system, while OneDrive is. Um, Maybe there's a way to make it as part of the operating system, but last time I checked, you gotta have like a bigger version of like a more paid version of Google Drive. But keep something in mind, I am paying minimum fee for the Google Drive, a very small fee. It's like $2 or $3 a month or something. I'm not paying for Gamma. It's free. I'm using free version of it. I am paying for CapCut. I'm not paying for StoryDoc. I only use free version of Google in it, and uh, basically just got the created this sales page and that's it. And this one I'm paying for that, and I got caption, right? And caption it doesn't just do one thing, it does multiple things. So captions is really amazing because look right here, look at other avatars it was able to create. It's able to do this as well. As you can see, it says learn how to sell in a nutshell. It shows this real kind of brain rot video of Minecraft, sort of, and it based on a comment from Reddit. So I'm using that, and but how am I using this in context of this workflow? Well, this was while I was just experimenting with captions. It wasn't really part of the workflow, but it just shows you the capability of this. What was really part of the workflow is um, it was threads like this. So over here, I'm literally kind of saying, creating a thread that takes avatar information. And with captions, guys, the cool part about it, you could schedule posts. Just like with my market, just like with Metric Cool, you could schedule posts and you could make those posts automatically uploaded to LinkedIn and TikTok. And that's exactly what I'm describing in this thread. Whenever you get a chance, definitely take a look. And as you can see, I'm showing inside of this thread combination of this video over here, the scrolling video. So how do we get that scrolling video into threads? How do we systemize it in a way that this scrolling video is not only in threads, but across other socials and including on YouTube? How do we make it all work in a way? And this is my Reddit. Here's an example of a comment where I literally take the comment, extract the comment, and make a copy of that comment, and then go into Captions app, and then literally just paste that comment into Captions app, generate this brain rot video for how to edit videos on Reddit, hit continue, and we're good to go. Well, that's very good because now I could take that information, extract it, and use that in my threads. But all of those processes are manually, and many of those processes don't have, like, this is a mobile-based app. It doesn't, there is no API of any sort, at least not that I'm aware of, or I didn't really look it up yet for captions, but it's a very good app for you to quickly leverage all of those avatars. This avatar over here I'm using from CapCut, and all of those effects that I'm seeing using over here are also from CapCut, and the captions are from CapCut as well. In fact, I'm showing you this tool, this proxy tool. Now, why am I showing you this proxy tool? I'm showing you, and I'm taking you through the process, through the flow, so this way you could get better familiar with this tool, but also recognize its advantages and disadvantages. As AI gonna get only better, there's gonna be more, those tools gonna get smarter, but not if you don't know the flow. If you don't understand the flow for how things work, for how to create fire-looking content in order for people to buy your coaching program or your digital product or physical product, no amount of AI is ever going to help you unless you understand the flow. And what you're learning over here is the flow. You're learning my proprietary flow that I'm sharing it for you for free of charge in this workshop. And of course, this is an example of Feudal Kingdom Academy workshop for the feudal lords. And notice how I'm leveraging threads. And this was just one of the threads that I created, but I did it manually. I didn't really automate these things. But what are the tasks that you could provide to your virtual assistants? So providing that they have this captions app, what can you do for them to do manually while automating whatever the other processes that is possible to automate? So this way you could quickly do this. This way you could quickly grow your brand, so your feudal kingdom. How do you do this in a way where you reduce all of those operations? Keep something in mind. You are not in the business of kind of automating everything. You're not automating everything, guys. You're only automating what makes sense the most. Of course, and because you guys are not really designing any SaaS apps, you're not really building a service SaaS for somebody to get into. You don't really want to get into those very complicated things. You just want to know approximately good enough of information to help you sell some of those products, whatever the product that you're selling, whatever the service, whatever the program that you're selling. So you don't really need to be specializing in, like, insane amount of technology. You just need to know a combination of different types of extensions, SAS, Chrome extensions, and all sorts of other products that makes it easy for you to reduce your workflow and the most kind of very repetitive tasks. Like for me, this was constantly very annoying repetitive task to go ahead and upload things on YouTube manually, and then it just takes a lot of time. Right now, I know for a fact that right now, as part of my tech stack, and I have this. This is my tech stack, and here's Notion as well. And how do you take all of those tools and put them in action, guys? Here's Notion. That's also part of my tech stack. And of course, I have Freedom Fusion System that is part of the tech stack. So over here, guys, what I did earlier, I created a video that shows kind of combination on threads. I created this video over here. Take a look at this one. Try Freedom Fusion System. See what this video is. So what this, instead of spending money on Facebook ads and kind of seeing and draining all that money and not getting any results, what you really want to be using is you want to be using a threads bots that can interface directly with your leads and then send them to your nurturing email campaigns and nurture them until those leads convert. That's what you really want to be doing. And you could do that with Freedom Fusion System versus spending all that money on Facebook marketing or anything like that. That doesn't necessarily mean you shouldn't use Facebook like meta ads or anything like that, because you should, if you want to make it grow further, but you should do that in combination with the pre-curated users who are already curated. And the way you're going to curate them is with Freedom Fusion System and all of those different, and your entire tech stack. So tech stack is different. Don't get that confused with thread stack. So this is my tech stack, but thread stack is something, obviously, each product that I cover in both coaching programs in Feudal Incubate and Feudal Kingdom Academy. But the idea here is you have those tools and there's certain processes that are taking place. And there's this Power Toy tool that I just kind of Power Automate. It's a free tool that I use to quickly grab to download screenshot. Now, can there be another way to do this using Zapier? Absolutely. With Zapier and a bunch of other extensions, you could most certainly take a screenshot of Gamma. You could do it any other way. But remember, you just need to know you want to be using some tools that can help you do many different things, and you know what to do, how to do it. But don't want to get overwhelmed. So here's what you want to do next. So the question is, how do you take that workflow? So if you take this workflow over here with Power Automate, and the question is, how feasible for you to use something like Power Automate? Well, with Power Automate, you could easily use, there's Power Automate for desktop, Power Automate for desktop, and there's Power Automate for cloud. And you could connect them, interface together with them, Power Automate for cloud. And you could interface with both of them to trigger all sorts of tasks. And you could use other techniques um, to kind of get this Gamma page, save it into OneDrive. So, and this is actually, I also have OneDrive, and of course I have a Zoom. So I have OneDrive and I have Zoom. And by the way, when you get on a call, if you do decide to become a Freedom Fusion System customer as somebody who is an existing business owner, let us know your tech stack as well. But here's OneDrive, here's Zoom, and the idea here is, guys, so Power Automate is gonna grab the content out of desktop using the desktop, and it's gonna drop it into OneDrive or Google Drive. So, well, it's actually gonna do it to OneDrive because Google Drive doesn't really have direct drive interface. So you do that, boom, you drop it to OneDrive, and then what's gonna happen is there's also another tool that I have It's called Zapier. That's also part of my tech stack, Zapier. And this one I'm paying monthly for that. And of course, I'm paying also for Go High Level because Freedom Fusion System is based on Go High Level. And of course, you guys could resell that as well. My entire Freedom Fusion System, Freedom Fusion Automations, my entire thread stack. So think of Freedom Fusion System as everything that interfaces with this entire thread stack. It interfaces it, but how does it do it? It does it in context of those workflows that I'm describing. So if I wanted to take a basic screenshot of uh, of a Gamma page, so I want to take a screenshot and upload it to OneDrive. OneDrive. What's going to happen next? Zapier automation is going to kick in. So the minute um, the Zapier automation is going to kick in, because it's going to look for anything that is uploaded to OneDrive, and it's going to upload this thing into YouTube. So, and YouTube is going to go outside of kind of my tech stack is just a social platform, but the idea here is here's YouTube, and boom, it's going to upload it this way, right? So this flow is kind of interesting. Now, how does Power Automate for Cloud comes in? You could use Power Automate for Cloud to trigger those automations from Zapier, because this tool is on your desktop. This tool is free. It's on your desktop. So Zapier is gonna uh, interface with Power Automate for Cloud. How? The first thing what's gonna happen is after you take a screenshot, it goes to OneDrive. Zapier detects this situation, and it can go ahead and it can trigger again to take a screenshot of whatever it is the URL that you include. Now, keep something in mind. Uh, how do you do this in a way where Gamma is created? The minute the Gamma is created, um, it gets dropped into um, Power Automate knows about it, that it was created. The URL gets delivered and it goes to OneDrive, and Zapier knows everything about it. How do you do this in a way that doesn't in a fully automatic way? Well, things like this is what I could cover with you guys in Feudal Kingdom Academy. So this way you don't have to have those headaches, but it's really simple. The idea behind it is that you want to have information in OneDrive or Google Drive, uh, depending on your tech stack, and you want to be able to interface with that information. You want to be able to quickly upload this information into Zapier, into Slack. So what I mean by that is here's Slack. Uh, when the request goes into Slack, you really want to make sure that it shows you the actual path of your Google Drive or OneDrive, and so this way you could quickly open that up in a CapCut. And when you open it up in a CapCut, you could add all those other additional effects that I talked about earlier, and you could also take that um, Gamma generated page and upload it into captions. With captions, you could create product reviews and avatars relevant to this content, and you could have those avatars being dropped across other platforms like YouTube, Reddit, etc. Uh, how do you interconnect to all of those platforms? You use something like MyMarquee, which is also that a part of my threads stack. Now, all of those tools, you may say, well, I'm getting lost in all those tools. Is there a simple tool that does it all? No, guys, there is no tool that does it all. Right now, you have to understand those skills for how to integrate these workflows together. And here's another one, Metric Cool. Metric Cool. Uh, the tool that does it, that does content repurposing, I could recommend you a couple of tools that can save you an incredible amount of time in terms of content repurposing. But Metric Cool in MyMarquee makes it easy for you to grab content and upload it into multiple socials like TikTok, Insta, etc. um, LinkedIn. Captions is already configured for um, LinkedIn, and it's configured for TikTok. The minute I upload those avatars, create those avatars, videos, and product reviews with AI avatars, is the instance. There's a functionality to upload everything into TikTok and LinkedIn, and things. Those are the things. Those are the tools you want to give to your virtual assistants, like captions, CapCut, and you want to have them generate that information based on those tools. The cool part about it, in Feudal Kingdom Academy, you learn how to create what's so-called standard operating procedures using something like Tango. Tango is another one of those tools. I use it as well. I use it for my job. I use it as well for myself, for my agency. But the idea is Tango makes it very easy for you to get standard operating procedures and just makes it super easy for you to document anything without really breaking your mind and figuring out how to, like, where is everything's available. So this is different than Notion. Notion in Notion, what I do is I refer to Tango standard operating procedures. And um, Notion is everything that I just described. None of that is hooked up to like an AI, a centralized AI agent. But later on, what I'll do is I'll show you guys for how to take all of those systems and connect them to one centralized agent that is going to be circulating across all of those systems and doing things for you and dropping things on CapCut for your virtual assistants to go ahead and start editing. So there's an easy way to do this with ClickUp. So ClickUp is another tool that could be great to set up. And there's also Airtable. So I use Airtable as well as part of the my tech stack. And guys, remember that you may be getting like overloaded with this. So remember, you don't need to learn all those tools right away. But what you need to understand is that there's certain SaaS apps that already cover many of those tools. I want to recommend to you which tools do cover that and give you the necessary workflows that you could provide to your virtual assistants. Those workflows uh, is what's so-called Freedom Fusion OS. So what you see over here is Freedom Fusion system, but I have also, I have Freedom Fusion OS, which is basically an OS. Freedom Fusion OS, think of it as an orchestrator that interconnects to all of those different things, all to entire Freedom Fusion system, and makes it and provide you with the workflows that you could provide to your virtual assistants. So your virtual assistants will have all the information they need in order to start marketing you on Threads and other platforms. So Freedom Fusion OS is, think of it as a Airtable database that has everything organized in one spot. It has all sorts of ways for you to assign work to your virtual assistants. And yeah, and you could think about it as a tool that will make things easier for you, virtual assistants. Now, the question is, how do you put all of this thing in action? And how do you, like, where do you start? There's so many different tools, guys. Well, the first thing is you already seen an example of how I showed you. Oh, and by the way, like once you join my Feudal Kingdom Academy, I have all of those recordings, guys. You could get access to all of those pills of freedom and literally learn insane amount of skills on both mobile, from mobile perspective and from desktop perspective, but I show you all of those different skills. Now, depending on who you are, whether you're a side hustler or a feudal lord, you may find one skill more uh, kind of better than the other. But let's talk about this automation over here. So let's just say we wanted to do basic automation that takes takes things into the research assistant. So what I showed you earlier is a research assistant using cloud, right? So where you scrape leads, and you do all sorts of other things. So how can this research assistant do anything for you guys? How can you automate that? What I just showed you earlier. Uh, I mean, so if I kind of, if you remember, I showed you the bunch of processes, right? I showed you lead scraping. So the first thing takes place, lead scraping, right? And you use browser flow, browser flow. That's the first thing you do, right? You scrape leads, you scrape leads on threads, right? So the second thing that takes place is Claude, right? Claude you use to analyze and cluster the leads based on what product they are relevant to most, right? So this was the second thing. And of course, what was the third? The third, you needed to create nurturing campaigns, customized nurturing emails. Third, uh, nurturing, nurturing, actually personalized invites to each person, right? So to each person, inviting inviting them to workshops, right? So that was the third thing, inviting them to the workshop. So in your case, you definitely, if you're building your custom coaching program, you definitely want to be inviting people to your workshop and giving them reasons to why they should be joining that workshop. But the idea here is it personalizes each person to the workshop, and what it does, there's other component to that. What happens when they do get to the workshop? Well, let's say they join the workshop, right? Join the workshop. There is a certain set of automations going to take place. So where workshop gets recorded, gets dropped into communities, right? Communities, and also there are certain other things that takes place, such as uh, nurturing. So like there's a bunch of nurturing emails. So for anybody who joins this workshop, they fill out a form, and that's where the Freedom Fusion system comes in, and multiple emails being sent out. So Freedom Fusion system, and so Freedom Fusion system has all this information about the leads and what those leads do, right? They will fill out the form. And after filling out the form, what's going to happen? After filling out the form, Freedom Fusion system is going to send them nurturing campaigns about workshops, about upcoming workshops. So this, and essentially sooner or later, those people who see those workshops, they get to enroll into your program. Now, this is a way for you to guys sell things, resell it, and get people invited to your workshops. And you also want to be able to have everything in one portal where you have this analysis of all of those threads. And to do that, um, to do that, you could build a SaaS-based app quickly using something like Cursor, and quickly just build this in a SaaS app where you show all of that analysis, where you show things. But the idea here is you quickly wanted to uh, assign work to your virtual assistants. So to assign work to your virtual assistants, you need Freedom Fusion OS. So Freedom Fusion OS, you're going to learn how to build your own Freedom Fusion OS uh, in Feudal Kingdom Academy. So Freedom Fusion OS is the bridge between Freedom Fusion OS is the bridge between Freedom Fusion system and your virtual assistants. This is what will allow you to assign work to your virtual assistants in a more controlled manner, meaning you want to get to track things, you want to see if they actually did the task or if they didn't do the task. You want to be able to understand all of this, assign work, virtual virtual assistants, assign work, so assistants. Now, additionally, so how does this work? As soon as information gets uh, as soon as the research information about each of the scraped person comes into a portal, then it's going to be basically like a website where you could see all of this information from Claude being sent into a portal, and you could see all of this information in one shot. It could be in a Google Drive, in a Google Doc, where your virtual assistant can quickly see what this is. It could be in Notion. But the idea is you want to have that information in some sort of a format for your virtual assistant to see. Now, I recommend Google Doc because you don't get charged with Google Docs for virtual assistants opening them up. You want to be using Notion for curated based content, controlled content, and something that you don't end up like burning through the licensing and quickly ends up costing you arm and a leg. You don't want that. So virtual assistants are going to be controlled through. So all of this information is going to be passed to the Google Docs, specifically your research assistant, your AI research assistant is gonna send all this information to your doc, Google Doc. Freedom Fusion system is gonna nurture those leads, uh, but also Slack notification is gonna be sent to them, to the actual Slack notification is gonna be sent for your virtual assistants to see all this research data in a Slack channel. So your virtual assistants will be able to see that, and notification is going to get sent to Freedom Fusion system, Freedom Fusion OS. So Freedom Fusion OS gets to see and track all of the state of what's happening, how things are happening, and it just has the more granular control. It's based on Airtable. Airtable is what is being used on behind the scenes, and Freedom Fusion system is Go High Level, is based on Go High Level. So as you can see, guys, this thing is becoming very interesting. Now, virtual assistants are going to get notification in Slack message. And so Freedom Fusion system interacts together with Freedom Fusion OS for nurturing purposes and for leads. So now there's going to be a bunch of people who are also going to be engaging with you on your um, account, on your Threads account. They're going to be commenting. So on your Threads, you're going to have a bunch of people commenting, and not only Threads, but other platforms. But we'll cover only Threads for now. But it could be applicable for other platforms as well. So when somebody makes a comment, so let's say we have a person making a comment, asking question about what your product, Feudal Kingdom Academy, for example. So the idea, your automation needs to kick in, and that automation needs to be invoking either proxy request that is going to be sent to your virtual assistant to your Slack channel. So proxy is over here. So proxy can do automations against comments, but just remember you want to be very careful with it because you don't want to get banned. which is why I showed you the other tools as well. Um, but the idea is, if let's say you don't want to get banned and you want to minimize this, and of course, obviously nobody wants to get banned, but then you could assign, uh, you could do something like, if the comment comes in, you notify your virtual assistants, using an extension. Um, well, your virtual assistant is going to get notified about a particular comment. There's a way to do it. I'm not going to get into it too deep into the details of this, but the idea is for you to capture those comments either through proxy or through other combination of tools uh, that I'll cover in my Feudal Kingdom Academy. So this way, you're fully well versed that your virtual assistants are aware of the fact that they need to respond to lead. So to do that, you could use ChatGPT operator. You could use um, the proxy, or you could use custom-based browser use extension. So, well, not browser. Um, it's called browser use library. You can use that, and it will help you grab content from threads, and you could create like a AI agent use on Cursor, and you could interface with browser use library. I don't want to get into details for this yet because it's more advanced topic, but basically this entire proxy is technically built on browser use and is built with like Claude 3.7 and a bunch of other tools put together. Sort of like there's another Chinese agent out there called Manos or whatever the name of it, and it's similarly built based on the same concept. Now, those agents are expensive. They could get you banned if you do them wrong. And this is the reason why you got to have a human in the loop factor. This is why uh, I'm talking about virtual assistants, showing you how to do this research assistant kind of thing, how to do this in a way where you assign work to your virtual assistants, and how to do it in a way where you reach out, where you offload this to your AI virtual assistants. So AI or human. So or human. So the idea here, guys, is for you to understand how to do that. The best way to understand that is to join my Feudal Kingdom Academy, where you either A, learn those concepts and start implementing them for your business, or B, you use some pre-made tools out there that you're ready to pay for, but you need, and you don't really want to do all those crazy things. You just want to pay for some bunch of SaaS tools, and you just need consultation advice for how to put them together. If that's you, schedule a call with me on my site, bitinfusionsystem.com, with our sales rep to see how we can help you, because it depends on your workflow. Some of you may the idea is simple. You want sustainable and work smarter type of workflow that is not too expensive. How do you make that work? Well, you gotta use APIs, you gotta use all sorts of ways that makes it easy for you. Um, but how do you learn about all those APIs? I have a product called Threads Samurai that shows you how to learn all of those things, how to get knowledge of those APIs. But if you don't really care about any of the stuff and you just want to have a bunch of basic SaaS tools that can help you uh, distribute content and can help you get create content, I could recommend a couple of those tools for you based on who you are, based on your personalized need, based on your feudal need and feudal want. So this way you don't have to struggle, because for all practical purposes, you may not necessarily need all of this to do it in this way. I'm showing it to you. The reason why I'm doing it is because I noticed those tools are very expensive out there, and whatever it is that I could do to save money on, I execute. I don't even execute any solution unless it's sustainable and smart. If it is not sustainable and smart, I don't try to execute this. So in this particular case, I showed you several tools, including the free Windows desktop automation. If you're using Mac, there's other automation tools are available out there. But the idea here is the question is like, how do you know what to use? How do you know what to scrape? How do you know what to do? Well, the first thing you definitely got to have a product. If you don't understand, if you don't have a product, you can learn how to build your own digital product. I do have a guide called Threads Booster. You can check out that Threads Booster guide. Go to my link in the bio and check it out and see if you want to learn how to build your own product. If you do, go through the guide. Guide is only $19.99. But the idea here is you're going to learn how to navigate through all of those different types of apps. You're going to understand how to build your own digital product bundle. You're going to learn how to monetize your pets, cats, kids, and dogs. You're going to learn how to do this in a way where you monetize your travel, your activities, etc., and make it easier for you to learn this. Now, I do have other guides as well, like Thread Slacker, Samurai, themes, bots, and of course, you could learn more about them once you join Feudal Kingdom Academy, and you could learn more about them on Threads. In fact, you could literally tell Proxy, create an account on Proxy, and say, go on Threads and tell me more about what Threads Slacker, Threads themes, Threads stories is, and it will tell you everything about it. It will go ahead and find relevant information for each product, and it will come back and will recommend. It will create a list for you of all the threads that are of interest for you. So before it wasn't possible to do that. Before you'd have to kind of manually collect data and put it in a spreadsheet and constantly refer to it. Now you could use either ChatGPT operator or you could use proxy to go ahead and ask those questions. Now, of course, I'm gonna still make it available, and in fact, that's one of my exercises. What I wanted to do, I wanted to actually get all of this information from proxy, specifically for the purposes of making it easier infused into AI bot. So, for example, I could say, like this thing over here, I could automate this task to learn more about Feudal Kingdom Academy. So I could go ahead uh, and what I mean by that is this particular instruction that I have created, um, I could go ahead and automate this and run it again. And if I say it, run it again, it will literally do the same thing again. It will record the same thing twice. And of course, uh, there's nothing wrong with that if it records it twice, because from the purposes of AI, whatever is being stored in that spreadsheet uh, is going to be fed back into another AI, and which is going to be able to distinguish. It's not going to care about duplicates or anything like that. It's just going to know exactly what you want. But instead of automating this task, I could have I could literally say remodify my prompt and say instead of uh, like find out my threads, go to this threads account and see what are only the newest threads in the past 3 days, and then execute that. Then it would reduce the chances of duplicates taking place, and it's going to be more powerful. But the idea here is, um, like over here, I could give you another example. So uh, I'm gonna show you how easy it is to automate that task. But before I'm going to do that, I'm going to show it to you just browser. If I go here in the browser templates, I you could easily upload templates. What I did is I uploaded one called ThreadsBots, and you could search for that threads. Um, let's see, no templates available for this search. Save credentials. So this is the limitation you run into. You have all sorts of problems if you don't have the correct credentials. That's why they ask you for $20. But here's a Threads bots. Um, this is just it was just me testing things. and placing, opening up threads and doing all those things. But the idea is I could share those templates with you and you could quickly learn about each of those products simply by turning on one of those templates. So let's say I wanted to create a template that talks about, let me just find my automations. Okay, so let me find the latest threads over here. So let's say I wanted to do something that keeps checking my threads, hitting like for new comments, and following and telling people to check out, to inviting people to my workshop. So how do we do this? Well, let's find the thread that is my workshop thread, that is the most powerful thread for the workshop, the one that I talked about. Here's this one. It could be this one. Let me just find the thread that is that describes the workshop where you can have where you could register, and it gives the link as well. I'm just searching for it quickly, and then um, okay, let's see. This one, I want the direct link. So this is it. So this is it. So I want that link. And better what? I don't actually want this link. I want the actual workshop. So I'm just gonna include this thread, and I'm gonna go to operator, and I'm gonna say browse, analyze threads.net at freedomfusionsystem.com. Let's see. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna Freedom Fusion System account and see who comments on my threads. If it's relevant to Feudal Kingdom Academy, and the person appeared to be expressing interest in joining Academy, joining Feudal Kingdom Academy, then invite them to this workshop, this free workshop, to this link. Be sure be sure to hit and like the comment. Be sure to respond to them knowing what the Feudal Kingdom Academy is, and like their comment and follow when responding to them in the comment, and like their comment and follow. Analyze latest analyze threads that were recently liked. So in my threads freedom account and see who commented on my threads and if it's relevant to Feudal Kingdom Academy and and if the thread is relevant to my Feudal Kingdom Academy or any of the threads stack power bundle products, including threads themes, threads booster, threads stories, threads bots, threads samurai, and the person appeared to be digital faceless digital marketing mom or a business owner expressing interest in joining Kingdom Academy, then invite them to this free workshop by by commenting with this link. Be sure to respond to them as well in a comment explaining to them what the Feudal Kingdom Academy is. Um, if you're not sure what the Feudal Kingdom Academy is, scroll through, check for relevant threads in this spreadsheet in my Google spreadsheet. Titled as titled as in case if the person happens to be digital mom expressing interest in Feudal Incubator or any other, respond with the relevant thread from who's interested in thread stack power bundle and happens to be starting out digital marketing mom, then check this spreadsheet called threads stack in my Google Drive and reference the correct link explaining what Feudal Kingdom Academy is, Feudal Incubators is, and that it can be and that is part of Freedom Fusion Path community. Um, Additionally, guys, what I want to do, I want to give it a additional context. If you are not sure, if you're not sure what the hold on, let me just go and search for threads, thread stack. Okay, threads stack Google Drive. Okay, check. I'm just gonna call it threads stack Google Drive and threads stack tab and reference the correct link explaining what Feudal is and what part of the Fusion Path community is. What Fusion Path community is. If you're not sure what any of this, if any of those terminologies are, take a look at my Buy Me a Coffee page, coffee.com. Let me go here, Buy Me Coffee, Buy Me a Coffee page, and see relevant articles to learn more, about each one. Um, so this deep work is our most powerful model built on team of AI workers that handle complex workflows. Describe your goal, the AIs manage the rest. Upgrade now to unlock automations and elevate. So elevate productivity. I haven't tried that yet, but there is a way to do the deep work, guys, with open source libraries as well. And maybe I'll cover that as well for how to just build something like deep research. But for many of you, you're not going to need any of that. For many of you, I highly recommend you just get the pro subscription and get some of those tasks up and running. So this way you don't waste colossal amount of time doing this, but you just need to have all of those things in a neatly designed, guys, neatly designed and placed in action for your business and hand it off to your virtual assistants. So let me just make sure these things make sense. Uh, at the end, let me, at the end, generate, generate the report showing what site, what user names you engage with and interacted with, and what product you recommended, whether and so and what community you recommended. Freedom Fusion Land is the community for Feudal Kingdom Academy, and Freedom Fusion Path is the community for site hustler starting out digital mom. Path is the community for Feudal Kingdom Academy is a community for feudal incubators that are designed to train side hustler starting out digital moms hybrid skills that are not taught in college. At the end of automation, generate the report showing what users generate report in Google Sheet, showing relevant links for each of the threads you found. Include description, hashtags, title of each thread, and user who commented and interacted with the thread. Be sure to have individual column for each record in the spreadsheet, Google Sheet. Be sure, be sure, okay, okay. I'm gonna allow notification. I don't know what happened. I think I typed all this prompt, guys, and nothing happened. So let's see. Proxy. Okay, so right now, guys, I may have just lost this prompt. Yeah, that was a little mistake. I think and create a Google format include all links, create um make sure columns exist. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do, guys, at this point, I'm just gonna go to threads.net at Feudal Fusion system and respond with we're gonna respond with this link for any comment that is received. Go to threads.net, see what are the latest likes and comments. Depending on who hit the like, respond to that person, respond back to that same thread or comment. So actually, hold on. So see what the latest likes are. See what the thread is that corresponds to the like and the name of the user who hit the like button. Follow them and follow them. If they responded with comment, analyze if the comment is relevant to threads to the Feudal Kingdom Academy. Then if it is, invite them to Feudal Kingdom Academy free workshop by sharing this FQDN, this URL. Update Google Sheet. Take a look at threads stack. Let's see. And I'm gonna show you guys the routines as well that I'm referring to, but let's take a look at thread stack, Feudal Kingdom Academy, Feudal Kingdom Academy threads, Google Sheet with the username who responded to the comment, thread URL, description, hashtags, and product, and which threads stack product it's relevant to, and which community it's relevant to. Feudal Kingdom Academy or to Freedom Fusion Land, where Feudal Kingdom Academy is hosted at, or Freedom Fusion Path, where feudal incubators are hosted at. If you're not sure, if you're not sure, check out also full list of all products, full list of all products. Refer to thread stack spreadsheet, Google Sheet, Google Sheet to better understand what they are. If you're not sure about what they are or how to they are or how to respond, then search through threads.net at Freedom Fusion System for each threads stack product, relevant name, and find more info. Then respond back to the relevant URL for that thread. Actually, we don't want to respond with that. Only respond. Your goal is to respond, is to invite digital moms and business owners to a workshop. Invite feudal lords or business owners to a workshop. Be sure to follow them, like, and respond directly to their comment. If they made a comment asking about any additional information. Okay, so it took a little while, guys, to get this prompt up and running, but as you can see, the prompt is taking its sweet time, it's going through, it's making things, it's gonna start loading, and it will start doing this research. So I don't have to. I have a lot of things um, extracting likes. I'll gather more detailed information about likes and interactions on the posts. So over here, we could see how he's going to see how the AI is going to see the likes. And let's see if AI is intelligent. So I will click on the like one button to identify who liked the post. I'll click on the unlike one button to gather more details about the user who liked the post. So I think it should have clicked on the heart to see what's going on, but let's see if it's going to be able to recognize that. So it gets prompted with one of the additional entries. Let's see if it escapes it. It starts escaping. I'll click on like on post 2. So I think so far So good. So far, it's kind of seeing what that is. I'll click reply to explore comments and user interactions on the Feudal Kingdom Academy post. I'll click cancel to close the reply and explore further options. Okay. I'll click to unlike one to see who liked the post to get the user details. I'll click reply one. I think it couldn't actually figure this out, guys. I don't think it was able to figure out that it needed to click on the heart. So let me pause it. I'm gonna say pause, and I'm gonna say click on the heart icon to see who what are the recent likes, and go through those users that will simplify flow. So what I did is I gave it additional instruction. Let me just see, click on the heart all the way to the left next to plus sign to the bottom left to get the list of users who hit like. So far, then it doesn't seem like it was able to handle this correctly, guys. So it's struggling, struggling. So to address this issue, guys, I'll show you how to use browser use extension, or how to do exact same thing, and how to automate it without you getting stuck on something like proxy. This is where the browser use can come in handy, and this is where you want to open that up. And of course, well, what I meant to say is browser flow, not browser use, but you go here and you create literally continue. So here's the browser flow tutorial. So Alt J. So you click Alt J, then you go here and you create a flow. See threads list full engaged users. So we're gonna start recording. We're gonna go here and we go threads.net at Freedom Fusion System. Then we click here and then I'm gonna select the element. Let's see, get element attribute, select element. Let me do it again. I'm selecting that it's liked. Get element attribute. Now, like heart, heart, like. Okay, I'm gonna select username, user. I'm gonna select description. We actually select uh, get element, select uh, like. So let me just select element again, view box, like one. I'm just quickly testing which one, what does represent, what would be a good example of art representation. So I think a view box is a good thing that we could use, but it doesn't, do we know that it's a heart? I don't think so. Hold on, let me see if it really is a heart. Let's do this. Okay, yes, get element. Let's do this. D heart. And let's do that again. Heart 2. So I think we have pretty much everything. Now I'm gonna hit cancel, select list, and I'm gonna exit. I'm gonna stop recording. I'm gonna hit play. Running flow. I think it got stuck. It even got stuck on, did it get stuck? Timeout waiting for element exists. So, okay, you know what? Let's do this. Let's delete the flow, create flow, thread, likes, add comment, start recording, add Feudal Fusion system, select element, uh, like two. Description. Okay. Gonna hit. Okay, guys. So basically, what I did is I added this step over here. So what I did is I deleted this, and this is what I did is I added a scroll steps. And when you could verify that this is a scroller, you see how when I move the mouse, it uh, moves away. That's how you could quickly verify that this is a scroller element. And then what I did next is, uh, as you can see, it fails in this step. So what I did is interact with the page, click, and then actually no, interact interact with the page, click, and on selector, I'm gonna include this first. Wait for page to load, verify, verify. Okay, now I'm gonna verify this. Now let's go ahead and try to run this. So it keeps thinking, it keeps going to search. Um, Let me see why. I'm gonna hit stop. So why does search? That's the part I don't understand. Okay, guys, so what I decided to do is uh, use another way. So what you could do is the following. You open up this extension, browser flow, you add a command, and you call it um, threads, for example. Start recording. Then you go to activity, hit enter. Then what you do, you select element, get element, user, user, get element, description, duration, and get element, select element, like, select list, list, then you hit confirm, stop recording. Okay, cool. So it did it. Output variables, but it only got one element. Okay, guys, so as you can see, I extracted data out of here, and yeah, it looks extracted. And the next thing what you want to do with that data is obviously send it to CSV file. Now you got the CSV file. This is the CSV file that would be uploaded to Cloud. Once it's uploaded to Cloud, the rest of it is just contacting those people with personalized threads with specified workshop. So this way, um, it's just going to be a lot easier. So if we do this, if we find Claude, upload it again, do the same for this file. A lot can make mistakes. Please double check. Okay, so I'm gonna take this prompt, gonna take this prompt, okay, take all of this prompt. I'm gonna create new chat. I'll upload file. I'm gonna do this. List of people like friends, okay? So thread stories best for this user, this one, this one. Those users already have established content styles and would benefit from enhancing their storytelling across multiple posts. Spiritual creators like you know that wisdom can be contained in a single post. Thread stories help you craft uh, multi-post narrative that showcase your unique perspective and build deeper connections with your communities. So let's say we want to take this and go back here and respond like this. What are we responding with? Diana Isabel. Close that just to make sure. Isabel. Okay. I don't see it. So we need to respond to them, all of them, and we need to find the thread. We need to find the comment to respond to them. So Salt Hank, let's see. Threads Slacker. So we may want to check out with this person who would be interested in Thread Slacker possibly. Let's see. You know what? I'm thinking what I could do is find those people. Just gonna copy this. I'm gonna see if I could simplify this. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. Combine this prompt together with this prompt. Combine them both. Okay, so we're combining them both, guys. Um, I will give you the list of users who like my threads from threads, all of them. Will be the list of if common. Invite them to my workshop. Okay, I will give you the list of users who like my threads, invite them to my Feudal Kingdom Academy workshop by sharing this URL with them, and recommend them relevant product based on the list below. Your goal is to invite Feudal Lord, leave your prompt, be sure to follow them and respond directly to the comment. If they make the comment asking about any additional information. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Let's take a look. Okay, can you proceed with next steps? As you can see, everything is happening super fast, or should I say super slow, but it's still happening. Okay, this looks pretty good. It's trying to search for all the users and find the correct person. But yeah, skip to the next person, skip to the next person, and if they respond back, back, be sure to reply to them with the appropriate product and invite them. Um, Also, be sure that you don't just hit follow button on too many of them. navigating to the profiles, hit other posts, threads, you view other threads that they have, which are relevant to my products, and hit like on those threads before following. Okay, this looks like it kind of died out. If you see the user who followed you, who followed me, be sure to thank the user who followed me. If engage. Okay, it looks pretty good. what I did over here, guys, is I documented all of the threads on my other personal account, and this is what it came up with. That's pretty cool. But what I'm gonna let it go, I'm gonna say you only documented one multi-thread. Go back to Rome. Well, profile and review all threads, all threads, threads, and documenting the rest. Indicate which community product is relevant to Fusion path or Fusion land. Well, hey guys, so what I did is I finalized this session. Um, it was a very good attempt to use this extension and scrape things. I got to the point of being able to reach out to some of the leads, but it wasn't. Then I quickly hit the limit after like uh, there's a set limit on a proxy, so I managed to hit that. And this is the reason why you want to have this customized based approach where you specifically uh, train threads on how to interface with it and make sure that when you're doing that, uh, you're using those other extensions. I could cover with you additional ways for how to use AI agents to pretty much just mimic what proxy does. So this way, there is not a lot of kind of cost factors associated with it. But um, I think it did, if I had to judge for the amount of work that I spent doing certain things, um, well, I think virtual assistant at this point could be good to use as well, like human factor in between. And in combination, can I specifically tell you that this is a super powerful agent that can do lots of things that human cannot? Yes, I can tell you that now, but it's struggling to kind of navigate through some of those different types of criteria. So in order for you to kind of solve that, you got to use those other techniques, scraping techniques, which are semi-manual, semi-automated, but they're very good because they're fast. And what you need is speed. So if you want speed, uh, then you definitely want to be using something like browser use, browser flow. So, but what I mean by that is by speed, you could literally go to, let's say you go to at Freedom Fusion System and you open up Chrome, and let's say if you go to Freedom Fusion System and you open up Chrome and you go here and you decided to quickly scrape information and get people and invite people to your workshop, then what you could do, you could see who liked your comment, get the list of people who liked your comment, and reach out to them. That's basically the idea. Um, the only way you're going to be able to determine who did that is if you get your list of, you could get the list of followers, but ideally you want to be looking at anybody who liked your comments as the first step and extract those comments and be able to reach out to them using this way in a categorized way where you use Claude. I could put that in a more systemized approach for you guys, but the most important part for you to understand how all of those pieces are combined and who's following you at which point. And to do that, you need uh, something that is very robust, that is fast. This way you're not spending too much time. But if you wanted to do something like extract the entire database of everything, you could do something like this. Let's say you fire this up right now, you hit browser flow, and what you do, you create a flow list of threads, and you create list of threads, and you're gonna add this command. Then you start the recording, you get the list like this, list, and then what you want to do if you wanted to get the list of all of your threads, you could do select um, username, username. Then what you want to do is select description. Then what you want to do is get link. Let's see, how do we get the link? So we do this, select this, hamburger, and see, select, share,